Man, I got something scary. The 6 most disturbing camping encounters caught on camera.
In September of 2024, a YouTuber named Megan uploaded a chilling video titled, "I was attacked in the woods by a man," to her channel Megan Page. Her channel primarily documents her everyday lifestyle, and she frequently shares footage of her travels and life updates as she explores the United States. In this particular video, Megan decided to go on a solo camping trip to a forest located in Humboldt County, California.
Hey, solo camping, already your first mistake.
As Megan starts off her video, she mentions that the sole purpose of this trip was to take a break from her busy lifestyle and find peace and solitude in the beautiful forests of California. The first few minutes of the video feature Megan updating her viewers about everything that's going on in her life. And it does appear as though she is completely alone in the woods, as she doesn't hear or see anything unusual. However, just moments later, she suddenly started hearing footsteps coming towards her, and that's when Megan encountered something truly disturbing.
When I got home from the psychiatric facility, there were cockroaches in my bed. Can you believe that? So that's why I'm in Humboldt. I'm staying at my dad's again, and it's really bad every day.
I knew it was Cali. I didn't want to be wrong about it. I didn't want to guess it'd be wrong, but I knew it was Cali. I'm like, damn, that looks familiar. I ain't even never been there. I just feel like I knew it was Cali.
We've been scream fighting, and then I come to the woods for like 4 hours and decompress, and then I go back home, and then he acts like nothing happens, like a true narcissist, like the true narcissist he is.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
Okay, well you scared me.
Oh, thanks. Okay, scared you didn't lose the walk by and eat the stairs off the line.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm a sweetheart. Don't worry.
Okay, I'm
You're
sorry.
probably more dangerous than me. You're probably more evil than me. Look at the dark hair you're saying. You're bone. Little stoner.
Okay, that was terrifying. What the?
And you going out there alone, shit like this is bound to happen. Yeah, keep playing. Going out in the woods 4 hours, you won't end up not coming back.
I'm shaking. That was scary. He was coming right at me, and so obviously I'm gonna be scared.
It's evident that a man holding a broken bottle suddenly appeared out of nowhere and approached Megan. Terrified for her life, Megan immediately picked up her camera and started distancing herself from the man. During this time, the man started talking to her and assured her that he was not there to harm anyone. However, by this point, Megan had already seen enough warning signs indicating that the man was probably up to no good. As a result, she immediately picked up her belongings and started walking away from him. It's still unclear whether the man actually meant any harm, but based on his behavior, it's very likely that he had some very sinister intentions. The man initially sneaked up on Megan while holding a broken bottle, potentially intending to harm her. But when he saw that she was recording and realized he...
Now I wonder how it would have been if she didn't see him. Cause bro walked up there like he was rushing to do something before something happened.
He'd been caught, he came up with an excuse for his actions and began assuring her that he wasn't a threat. Megan, however, wasn't convinced at all and wisely chose to distance herself and walk away from the man. Fortunately, the man didn't end up following her, and Megan safely made it out of the woods without any harm.
And then he's like, "You're probably more scary than me. Your dark hair and your veins."
If you've enjoyed the video so
Hey, at least you got out there safe though. That's a good thing about everything.
far, it would mean a lot if you considered subscribing. Over 95% of you watching haven't subscribed yet. Your support really helps the channel grow, and in return, I promise to keep bringing you guys the best quality content. Now let's get back to the video. In June of 2021, a YouTuber named Corey uploaded a terrifying video titled Ritualistic Encounter in the Backwoods to his channel The Abandoned Boys. His channel is dedicated to urban exploration, and he often shares footage of his bizarre encounters while exploring various abandoned locations throughout the United States. In this particular video, Corey decided to explore a remote forest located in Martinsville, Virginia. According to Corey, the forest is rumored to have a history of being a satanic ritual site. Since then, the forest has gained a reputation for being haunted. Even now, there have been multiple reports of people performing satanic rituals in the forest at night. Despite all of this, Corey set out to explore the forest alone in the middle of the night. As he began his exploration, he ventured deep into the woods to locate the ritualistic site. However, just a few minutes into his exploration, Corey suddenly started hearing some strange noises coming from the woods, and that's when he encountered something truly disturbing.
That's some dangerous backwoods. Heard a lot of stuff goes on out here, so I'm here tonight to check it out. Come with me on this journey. Let's get it. Kind of far in.
Bro, why was there like 5 cuts in between all of those?
And hiked in kind of far. Hopefully it all goes well, but definitely creepy. And hearing stuff. I don't know.
Let's eat it.
It's crazy. That's what we're working with tonight. Hearing something.
But if we being real, who the fuck, like, you going out in the woods at night by yourself? Like, nigga, what do you expect is gonna happen to you? You think an ice cream truck's gonna roll by? You gonna buy some ice cream? No, here you come lollygagging through the woods, right where skinwalkers and slendermans be out. You hear noise, oh, I wonder what that is. And then you niggas walk to it and then be surprised when there's some dumb shit. You're surprised when you see Freddy Krueger standing right there, ready to jump into the fucking depths of your soul so he can haunt you in your dreams. You ain't surprised when Michael Myers starts walking to you. After Jetty starts walking to you, after his mom just told him to kill you niggas. Hey, what do you expect gonna happen, bro?
You hear that?
You see. If it was me, the first time I wouldn't even ask, did you hear that? I'd have been walking back. I'm like, nope. I heard. I'm like, nope. I hear that. They'd be like, oh no, I don't hear nothing. I'm walking back still. It don't matter, bro. No, I'm not doing it. It got louder on the second one too. Man, I hate scary.
What the hell?
And you walk towards the noise. But then you see the lich right there. You see that the bitch from the ring is standing there making noises, sitting in the fucking bull tub in the middle of the fucking forest. And then you what do you like? What you be surprised? I don't understand. I just don't understand. I literally can't comprehend why am I in the forest at night? As if, like, we're in, like, this is like 12,000 years ago or some shit, or not even 12, like the 1800s or some shit, 17s, or whenever the fuck before the fucking light bulb existed, nigga. Why am I in the forest at night, exploring, looking for a ghost? You're searching for demons, nigga. And you're surprised when you find it. You're searching for demons. And you're surprised when you find them. Now make that make sense.
Whoa. What the f... Y'all hear that?
After Corey heard the strange noise, he listened intently and tried to make sense of its source. Although it's hard to pinpoint exactly what caused those strange noises, they do oddly resemble the sounds of a cat crying.
Whoa. What the f...
Yeah, imagine it's just a cat getting
Y'all
murdered.
hear that?
If this was actually the sound of a cat crying, then this encounter becomes even more alarming, especially since the forest is known to be haunted and also a place where individuals perform satanic rituals. And if anyone in the site saw Corey approaching them, things could escalate quickly. But Corey didn't think too much about this detail and eventually decided to investigate the noise. However, as he started to walk in the direction of the noise, that's when he encountered something that sent him running out of the forest.
Alright, let's just get it straight. He goes towards the noise. He goes towards the noise. Finds something. And then runs from the noise. Come on, bro. You know what's gonna happen. You're looking for demons. Ain't that why you're there? Because it's haunted. So aren't you supposed to be? I thought it's not supposed to be like a glimpse and run. It's supposed to be like record like the entity type shit, right?
What the hell is that? What's that? What the What the hell? Y'all seeing this?
Alright, bro. Another horror short. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Nobody in their right mind is going to see that shit and then say, y'all see this? Holy shit. Y'all seeing this? Y'all seeing this? Nigga pointed at you with a knife, all his buddies right behind him. Hey, well, yo, what's that? Y'all seen this?
Y'all see this?
What I forgot to say, bro.
What the hell is that? Hey, what's going on?
Nigga, there ain't no talking with these niggas, bro. You know this. You film. You hired the actors.
After Corey followed the noises,
your cousin, right?
He was startled to see a group of people dressed in all black, performing their rituals and making strange noises. Disturbingly, one of them immediately pulled out a weapon and began approaching him. After noticing the man, Corey cautiously started walking back and began distancing himself. During this time, Corey politely called out to him, but the man, without speaking a single word, continued following him. Terrified for his life, Corey immediately rushed out of the woods and managed to safely escape the man. It's still unclear why the man dressed in black was trying to harm Corey, but based on his behavior that night, it's very likely that he didn't want Corey to be that close to their ritual site. As a result, he...
Alright, I give this Spooky Scary Sunday.
pulled out his weapon and began following Corey. If Corey hadn't backed up or had continued approaching the individuals, they would have most likely ambushed or attacked him. Fortunately for Corey, he immediately rushed out of the forest and managed to escape the potentially dangerous situation without any harm.
Potentially dangerous.
In December of 2024,
Crazy choice of
a
words,
YouTuber
don't you
named
think?
Sarah uploaded a chilling video titled "Disturbing Encounter While Solo Camping" to her channel Wandering Gypsy. Sarah's channel is dedicated to outdoor exploration, and she frequently posts footage of her travels across the United States in her Jeep Wrangler. In this particular video, Sarah set out on a solo overnight camping trip in the desert of Utah. As she begins her video, she ventures deep into the desert to find a suitable spot for her campsite. After driving for a while, Sarah discovered a secluded area and decided to set up camp for the night. Once she was all set up, she prepared her coffee and started exploring the nearby surroundings. During her exploration, Sarah was surrounded by the beautiful view of nature, and she enjoyed the peaceful and quiet surroundings. And it did appear as though she was completely alone in the desert, as she didn't hear or see anything that suggested anyone was nearby. However, just moments later, while she was walking around her campsite, Sarah suddenly spotted a red car approaching her, and that's when things started to take a turn for the worse for Sarah.
No signs of humans, no signs of wildlife, just hear a bunch of crazy birds chirping. And one of the things I like to do when setting up camp too is scoping out the place, is look on the ground for like wild animal poop. And the only poop that I see on the ground is this cow.
Oh, they just sitting there.
After Sarah saw the red car coming towards her, she immediately got back in her Jeep. Disturbingly, the car stayed at the end of the dirt road and continued blocking her exit for almost 10 minutes. By this point, Sarah had already seen enough warning signs, indicating that the man inside probably had some very sinister intentions. As a result, she was consumed with fear and anxiety over everything she was witnessing, and all she could do now was stay inside her Jeep and hope that the man inside wasn't a threat. Sarah then kept a close eye on the car, and that's when she noticed the man staring directly at her.
There's obviously some weirdo. Why shouldn't call police? There's no service. What's up with weird ass niggas like this though? What are you doing? They got nothing better to do with their life and go fuck with other niggas. Trying to fucking get their organs and sell them on the black market and shit. Like, damn, nigga, just leave me alone. Like, fuck, leave me alone, bruh.
Well,
God forbid a nigga want to enjoy their day.
For me to be sitting here at my Jeep in this secluded spot, which I'm about to leave, and then that red truck just pulls up, and the truck just continues to sit there. And then when he pulls off, his window is rolled down, and he's staring right at me when he pulls off. So just stuff like that gets under my skin. Because now I found this awesome campsite, and I have to leave. Because now I am worried and paranoid that once it gets dark or in the middle of the night, could this guy come back because he knows I'm here by myself? I'm over it. So now I have to leave and I have to go find me another campsite now.
Fortunately for Sarah,
that's lame. Lady just want to enjoy her night.
The red car eventually left her alone. However, to Sarah's absolute shock, as the car was leaving, she noticed a man wearing a mask staring directly at her. To make matters even more disturbing, Sarah later revealed that she had recently been dealing with a stalker. For the last couple of months, every time she went camping, she would notice someone stalking her from a distance. If this was the same stalker she had encountered previously, then this encounter becomes even more alarming, especially since the area where she'd been camping was located in a pretty remote part of the desert. If the man were to come back again, things could escalate quickly. But fortunately for Sarah, even though she was frustrated over what she was dealing with, she wisely chose to leave the area and safely made it out of the desert without any harm. In January of 2025, a British YouTuber named James uploaded a video titled "Scary Van Life Park Up Caught on Camera" to his channel By the Curb. His channel primarily focuses on outdoor exploration, and he often documents footage of his everyday life as he travels across the UK in his camper van. In this particular video, James decided to go on a solo road trip to Sunderland, a city located in England. As James begins his journey, he drives all day and eventually reaches his destination. He then parks his van near the road and settles down. As night begins to set in, James decides to call it a night and eventually goes to sleep. However, just moments later, he was suddenly awakened by noises coming from outside his van, and that's when James encountered something truly disturbing.
Angry British noises is crazy. Hey, I don't think even this dude know what they saying. Cause, subtitles or nothing. Cause I don't know what this nigga saying.
I'm not the third one. I'm not the private rig. I'm not a first English footballer. I'm not a reef, I don't know what it means. You do when you put on the dead people who you're supposed to love. Construct, I haven't never heard before. I've got a new modern technology. You've got full stuff like this on there. You're a cover one?
After James heard someone knocking and looked out of his window, he was startled to see a man shouting and staring directly at him. Although it's hard to comprehend what he was saying, his aggressive tone indicated that the man was yelling some pretty harsh things towards James, and he probably had some very sinister intentions. The man continued yelling and kept on knocking on the window for almost 10 minutes. By this point, James had no idea whether to stay inside or go out and confront him. However, since he wasn't carrying anything to protect himself, and considering the man could easily be carrying a knife or any other weapon, he ultimately decided the smartest thing to do was to stay inside the van, and all James could do now was hope the man would go away on his own.
So I've got some nutter shouting outside van. Get my shoes on. It's still there, look. It's coming back.
Where's that following that nigga, bro?
Fortunately for James, the man did get tired of yelling and eventually left him alone. It's hard to determine whether the man was trying to break into the van or trying to harm James, but based on his actions that night, it's most likely that the man was under the influence. The man initially approached the camper van, and as soon as he realized James was inside, he started knocking and yelling at James, potentially intending to provoke and lure him to get out of the van. However, James made the wise choice of not getting out of his van to confront the man, because encounters of this nature often end with campers getting harassed or even attacked by people with sinister intentions. Fortunately for James, he managed to avoid the potentially dangerous situation without getting harmed. In July of 2024, a YouTuber named Darina uploaded a video titled "Scary Place in the Haunted Pine Barrens" to her channel The Walking Cam. Darina's channel is dedicated to urban exploration, and she often shares footage of her exploring various haunted and abandoned locations throughout the United States. In this particular video, Darina set out to explore the ruins of the abandoned Silica Sand Company, located in the Pine Barrens of New Jersey. For anyone unfamiliar with this location, the Pine Barrens covers approximately 1.1 million acres and represents about 22% of New Jersey's total land area. The location is also known for its numerous well-maintained trails and campsites and is a popular destination for hikers and campers. However, the Pine Barrens' dense forest has historically provided cover for illicit activities and criminal operations, contributing to its reputation as a place where crime could go undetected. Despite all this, Darina decided to go on a solo exploration of the Pine Barrens. As she begins her video, she ventures deep into the woods to locate the abandoned ruins. After walking for a while, she finally discovered the ruins and found that the various machinery and equipment had been severely damaged, and whatever remained was covered with creepy graffiti and writings. Darina then left the ruins and decided to venture further into the woods. However, this is when she stumbled upon something extremely disturbing.
They're like graves? We got like investigating, those are like graves. Okay, that would be creepy. But if you set the camera up before this and then did all this for a video, then fuck you.
It's evident that numerous trees are plastered with posters of missing people. This detail is particularly alarming given that the area where Darina discovered these posters is located in a very remote part of the forest. Along with the fact that the Pine Barrens are known to have a history of criminal activity, indicating that the individual responsible for putting up the posters could be a criminal or even a serial killer. Some serial killers are known to leave clues at crime scenes intentionally, seeking notoriety or a challenge for law enforcement. It's also possible the posters were placed by the suspect to mislead investigators and deter them from the actual crime scene. However, these claims are merely my own theory and haven't been confirmed or verified. Ultimately, it's up to you to decide whether what Darina discovered in the woods was simply an elaborate prank or something more sinister. In October of 2023, a British YouTuber named Mike uploaded a rather bizarre video titled "The Woods I Will Never Camp In Again" on his channel Novice Wild Camper. Mike's channel is all about wild camping, with frequent videos showcasing his camping experiences in different parts of the UK. In this particular video, Mike decided to go on a solo overnight camping trip in the woods somewhere in the UK. Mike begins his video by venturing deep into
solo overnight camping.
to the woods to find a good place to camp for the night. While exploring, he stumbles upon some peculiar footprints on the trail. He figures they must belong to a dog walker and continues on his way. After walking for a while, Mike finds a good spot and sets up his campsite. After setting up his camp, he shows his viewers the various camping gear he brought, and this is when he mentions hearing some strange noises nearby, but yet again he dismisses them, thinking it's just a small animal and doesn't think much of it. As the night begins to set in, Mike enjoys his dinner and decides to go to bed. However, at around 3 a.m., Mike was suddenly awakened by a series of rocks hitting the side of his tent, and this is when things take a very disturbing turn for Mike.
There's a huge amount of noises around here. Sounds like Bigfoot was throwing rocks at the hammock. I've had a couple of near misses and a couple of hits, but yeah, going for a fun night. See you in the morning. Right, I'll be honest, this is the first time I've ever done this. I'm actually sitting back in my car now. 3 o'clock, it just started hammering it down with rain. After the rain started, I could just hear crashing around that got nearer and nearer and nearer to my hammock. And every time I moved or got out to check, it stopped. But the weirdest thing was, suddenly by my hammock, massive thud hits the ground. I jumped up and there's a rock on the floor that wasn't there. And I'm just laying there listening. And then another one. This went on 3 or 4 times at least. And then a large branch hit my tarp. And every time I jumped up and got out, there was no movement, there was no nothing now. But this has completely freaked me out.
Mike mentioned that he heard rocks hitting his tent and heard some strange noises that were getting louder and louder, leading him to believe something or someone was closing in on him. However, when he went outside to investigate, the noises would suddenly stop. But as soon as he went back inside,
So pretty much somebody was just fucking with him.
the noises would start again. Disturbed by these bizarre encounters, he left his campsite and went back to his car. He anxiously stayed in
Bro getting terrorized by Casper. Got him running back to his car.
his car until sunrise and eventually returned to his campsite. However, as he tried to make sense of what he had just witnessed, he heard the strange and mysterious noises once again.
This is seriously the weirdest forest I've ever.
It's crazy because keep in mind these niggas haven't drove off yet, or he hasn't drove off. Hey, it ain't hard to start with a car plus that gas pedal.
I camped in. I got back here and suddenly the tree next to me just crashes and the bushes are all shaking, but there's nothing in it. There's nothing there.
And you keep thinking about him, nigga. Casper is angry. He's in the forest and he's there to terrorize you, nigga. Now you keep playing until he fills you up with ectoplasm.
It's full of creatures and animals running around. Things are just crashing down around me. It's all quiet, then suddenly it happens. I don't like it here. I'm getting packed up. I'm under my tarp, cracking up my quilt, and there's this crash behind me. This doesn't land coming down. It bounces towards me. It hit the floor and was still rolling towards me. This place is freaked out. I am never coming back here again.
After hearing the strange noises for the second time, Mike, afraid for his life, immediately packed up his belongings and left the woods. On his way back to his car, he suddenly ran into someone walking near the woods, and their brief encounter quickly took a very disturbing turn.
I just got back to the car, and bearing in mind this road is like a dead-end road. No one comes down here, and for the entire night, no one had come down here. So, but I've come down here, and as I've stepped out of the woods, literally the entrance to go in there is just there. And there's a man just walking down the road by me, and he saw me, and he went, "All right," and I was like, "All right." And he went, "You been camping in the woods?" I said, "Yeah, I just did a little hammock camp." And he says, he went, "You're brave." I said, "Why is that?" And he went, "People have done it before, no one's lasted." I said, "What do you mean?" And he just laughed and he went, "You know what I mean." I walked off. But yeah, I won't pinpoint it to say avoid this place, but I'm never going to come back here.
He was a lost Esper wandering the fucking forest, telling you what happened. Like a cutscene from the game.
The man mentioned that Mike was brave to have spent the night in the woods, and when Mike asked why, he told him about the dark history of deaths there and then just walked off. The man's identity and the truthfulness of his claims remain unknown, but to be safe, Mike kept the location of the woods a secret from his viewers to avoid them from going in there. It is still unclear whether Mike's experience was paranormal or something more sinister like a serial killer lurking in the woods. However, the lack of information about the man in the woods leaves the source of Mike's strange experience a complete mystery.
We ain't doing that shit. We ain't doing that shit, nigga. We watch you to see you do it. We want to see you do it, nigga. I'm not going in the fucking woods.